So, first of all, folks, I was going to ask you, well, what is the online book group and what does it involve? Marianne, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, so basically the online book group is it's a sort of Teams event that happens every week between sort of staffs like PhD students, undergrad students, master's students, where we all just kind of come together and each week a different person talks about a book that they want to share with people as a sort of recommendation and to kind of chat about it, I suppose.
Sounds great. Sanem, did you want to add anything to that?
I was going to say, it's such a nice community as well, the book group. There's so many people which I haven't ever met in my life, but as a result of this book group and Teams meetings, we're able to have such nice, genuine conversations and also a bond with people. I love it so much. I've made so many great friends, and my relationship and bond with the members of staff have, just gotten stronger over this time, which I think is really important. And it's really nice as well.
That is so lovely to hear. And Khadija, did you want to add anything there too?
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that. Yeah, it's a really lovely environment, especially with lockdown and COVID, when you can't actually go out and socialize, especially there's no campus anymore where you can bump into people. So it's a really great place to meet new people, to discuss books. And because it's usually on a Friday, it's a really good way to start the weekend as well, just to get involved in an informal chat about a book you may or may not have heard of. And just, yeah, it's a great place.
Yeah, the conversations can go off onto all sorts of random tangents as well, which I think is really nice because we don't always have to stick on topic to the book. The book can bring up things that we just go off and talk about in the chat, or just, and I think that's just really lovely that it's not sort of strictly we need to be talking about the book kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. And for me, I think I first got the email when I started my PhD. And I thought, a book group, that sounds like another lecture-y kind of thing. I don't really want to add another piece of work to my full plate. And then one of my friends was presenting and she said, why don't you come and listen to my talk? And after I listened, I was like, I love this place. I'm coming back next week. I'm definitely coming back.
So we should just clarify a misconception, shouldn't we? You don't actually have to have read the book to come along, do you?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I mean, that sounds insane if you think you're doing an English degree and you're reading all the time. No, it's a really just nice way of someone will just bring the book along and say, this is what I want to talk about, and you just listen to someone read extracts from the book and talk about why they love the book. It's kind of more like a recommendation thing if you ever fancied reading it in the future. So no, you don't have to be picking up extra work in the week. I don't think that would prove very popular at all.
I say as well, I like the fact that it's a bit personal as well. There's a reason why each person chose that specific book, so there's meaning to that individual, because of that book. I really like that.
Definitely.
And actually, that's an ideal segue, Sanem. I wondered if I could ask all three of you just to say a little bit more about the books that you chose to share and what the experience of sharing it was like. Khadija, could you start us off?
Yes, so for me, I chose the book Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. And so the reason why I chose that book, because my thesis is on African literature, and for me, that was the book that really got me involved into African literature and the African Writers series. So Things Fall Apart was the first book from that series, and that's what my thesis is based on. So that book held a special role for me in terms of where I am right now and my research. And I just wanted to share that with other people. And I thought it was a great introduction to African literature, especially for people who may have never even read a book by an African writer or even heard of the book. I thought, it would be a great introduction to African literature and to give everyone a taste for it.
And was it different, Khadija? Because for your PhD, you must spend hours in that kind of analytic research mode, poring over works like this. What was it like to share it within the book group format? Was it a different sort of feeling?
Yeah, it definitely was. So I think for me, sharing it was, well, at first I was a bit intimidating and a bit scared to share the book because I didn't know what questions to expect from everyone. But once I started talking about it and I read the extracts and people started getting more involved, it was really fun because they were asking questions I never really thought about. And I guess for me, because of my research, I'm really focused on one specific aspect of the books. So having questions from different aspects of the book and from different perspectives that I really haven't thought of before was really fun, and it got me thinking about other things as well.
And Sanem, tell us a little bit about your book choice.
Basically, I really enjoy all things philosophical, and my main areas of interest is about reality and memories and perception. So I chose Ian McEwan's Atonement because the main theme of that story is, did Bryony commit the crime or not? Argument was, we don't know because she's basing it off her memories and she has dementia. So her memories are very unreliable to begin with. So we don't know if she was the cause of the crime, quote unquote, or if there was other factors playing into it.
And tell us a little bit about your pick.
Yeah, well, I feel after, sort of people coming to books through philosophy and, PhDs in African literature, I came to I Capture the Castle as just sort of a kind of lonely, socially awkward 17-year-old. So that's not quite as highbrow as some of the other people. But as a teenager, I read I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith, and it just was like one of the most incredibly beautiful and sort of very real, in inverted commas, books that I'd sort of read that felt I felt I had something in common with the main character, and at the time I sort of said to everyone, you must read this book. So when I sort of came to do book group, I thought, well, I think this is a book that just made such a massive impact on me as a teenager, and then rereading it to present a book group, I was like, there's so much more in there that, especially as an English student, you find sort of all sorts of different literary sort of allusions and things like that, which is very exciting. And yeah, so coming back to that, it's still a very beautiful book, and it was lovely to share that with people.
So hopefully we have whetted your appetite now, and you're going to want to come along to the book group in the future. So if you want to find out more, you can visit our website here at le.ac.uk/English or follow along on Twitter. You can also contact my colleague, Dr. Emma Parker, the founder of the book group, and her email address is provided here. Any final thoughts at all, folks, before we sign off?
I wanted to say quickly, I'm so grateful for Emma for starting this book group. Yeah. Emma's great. Emma's honestly great. And
yes.
I'm so grateful for this book group because it's just, I know I keep saying this, but it's just a nice way to connect with people. And I'm so grateful that she started it all off. And I really appreciate the fact that she got us all involved as well by telling us each week and talk about it, because it's just another layer of involvement. And I really appreciate her for doing all of this.
It's definitely kept me sane over lockdown, just having that kind of just some people to talk to and have a laugh with and share this kind of lovely sort of experience with. Definitely, yeah. So thanks to Emma Parker for setting that up.
I mean, if it wasn't for book club, I would have never even known who Marianne or Khadija was. Like, I would have you guys grateful for this group.
Very true.
Yeah, I second that.